All right, well, I'm going to call the meeting to order. 2:51. Quorum is present. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Any opposition?
No.
Agenda is approved. Next item is approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Who made the motion?
Christie.
Sorry.
Any errors and omissions? That item is passed. Public comments. Look for something outside of the agenda. We have no guests today. So, first item is item A, continued discussion, the integrated partnership and communication plan, opportunities for collaborative efforts. Any updates?
I could just tell you about the thing that I went to with Laura. Laura, are you on the phone?
Nobody's on the phone.
She did say she called. So we went to the Elder Fair. I saw some of you there. It was really, really well done. And we had a bunch of flyers, and we were one of, I don't know, 20 some tables there. And they spread out all across the first floor. And there was quite a lot of foot traffic. It was almost, a 3-hour event. And I don't know how much, we didn't get as much foot traffic as the more medically oriented tables and the lady fixing the glasses and all that stuff. But it's still, when people sort of lingered, I'd be like, want to be a census taker? So I tried to reach out to people, and so to Laura, and I think, it certainly doesn't do any harm to be present at events like that. If there are other events like that, I think, it's only a couple of hours and sitting at a table comfortably.
Did you find that people took the information?
Yeah, a few did. I tried to engage one high school student to consider being a census taker. And so I think it was good. I don't think there was a huge interest from the people who attended to that particular thing. They were really kind of looking for other things. But we were right in the middle, which was kind of good because they were definitely going to walk by us.
Right, that's great.
As opposed to being at the extremities. So, and people saw our signs and stuff, so it's in their head.
Yeah.
So we have parent conferences coming up in December at the elementary schools and CPS. So I don't know if it would be worthwhile having a little table there in the lobby with someone passing things out. And then we do have LPAC also in December. Our next L Parent Advisory Council meeting is actually a social event. So it's movie night with food. But we are going to invite people to come and have booths. So I think that could be a place.
That'd be huge.
Yeah, what's the date on that?
That is, let me see what's in here. The LPAC is,
Yeah, I saw
we
that
changed
in
the
mailing.
date. Yeah, pretty sure it's Friday the 13th because it's not the one on, it is on the calendar.
Yeah, Julie Lamoli sends out these weekly emails. I can probably find it pretty quickly. She has a.
And then parent conferences, I'm pretty sure, are Wednesday, December 4th.
So what was your suggestion about parent conferences that we used, Ms.?
Because all the parents come. So
Yeah.
if we had a table set up with someone handing out flyers and just whatever, make sure you get.
And that's the idea, honestly. Just don't even have a big old chat about it. They're not there. Just hand it to them.
Yeah,
just
the census
literally
is this
get it
year?
in their hands.
Yeah.
Right?
November 1, December 13th.
Yeah, December 13th is the English Learner Parent Advisory Council.
And that's a movie night.
Yep, movie and food.
And food. And
But
you
we are
are
going
inviting
to
people
have-
to have booths. So
Yes.
that would be more of an opportunity to have a chat.
Yes.
But I think I've been to them, and especially if you have more than one child, it's like bedlam. And so
Yeah.
there's no time to sit and chat at all.
I've been there
The
also
parent
on behalf of
conferences.
other boards sitting there, and people just go by to get the free cookie. They don't really take anything in.
Right.
I mean-
But I think if you had 400 flyers in Spanish and just hand them to somebody, people take things. They don't want to be rude.
And
right?
English, just why it matters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the double-sided one.
When's parent conference night? You said?
That's
December 4th.
pretty sure it's the 4th at it's a half a day, so it's not really a night. They start around noon or 1.
On December 4th?
Yes.
I don't have information. Okay.
Yeah. They start around 1 and they go till about 6 or 7. But it would be good to start passing out flyers, I think, there too.
Would it be possible to put flyers in? Do they still do backpacks, like that kind of stuff?
You mean do kids still?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that used to be the only
we
way.
send home all kinds of
Dating
stuff, 'cause I
myself was
send
before
paper.
email, so
No, they
it's the
still.
only way to get information out to
They all have
everybody.
Sometimes the paper gets read more than emails.
I think so too,
So Spanish and Portuguese, which I can get.
unless your kid didn't want you to see it, then didn't get it.
So what kind? So I can certainly easily download the flyers from the U.S. Census website. They've got them in all kinds of languages.
Right.
I think Spanish and Portuguese would be critical, and they have them sort of tailored. I put a lot of them in your package.
I saw them;
just so
they're
you could
really well
see.
done. Yeah.
So maybe if you guys wouldn't mind, look at those after the meeting and just send back what you might, if that's okay with you, Andrew.
Sure.
Think would be obviously the educational one,
You might do the job thing too.
I would too. Absolutely.
The
immigration.
job flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I can certainly make up my own mind, but I would like input before I'm going to print out.
Yeah. So let's let everybody kind of vote for like this is the one I think is the best, or
Yeah,
this is
I've
the.
looked at the stand up be counted. I think they're great because they're pretty. It's a nice picture. It tells you it's confidential, that how it
Yeah.
affects your community. So, and I know those come in the multiple languages. You put them in here. I think all in English.
I did. I wasn't going to be honest, waste paper because we all
Right.
speak English
Yeah.
here. But
Right.
Yeah.
the idea is that they're in multiple languages. And then I'll have to reach out to
Yeah.
Julie Lamoli and to Superintendent Cosworth for permission, but I'll get that to them.
So these, what's different about these, if you haven't looked at them yet, if you look at the middle section, one, like they're geared toward different populations or, so one is,
Or star.
it determines your representation.
Oh,
Another one, it talks about SNAP,
Right.
Section
Peter
8,
was
Title
good
I
about
grants.
calling it.
So I think that would be the school one. But the other one talks about how it affects
They never changed the
Medicare.
clock.
So page 16, 17 talks about Medicare, 16 talks about children's health. I think the children's health one should go to the Nantucket Community School now. If you give them a stack of these in multiple languages and put it on their counter, people will take them.
That's great.
Children's, which one's that?
Well,
That's
16
16.
and
Patient.
17 both reference it, so.
Yeah, 16 and 17 are health. 15 talks about SNAP, Section 8 and Title I, so that's a good school one. I don't know if 14 if immigrants care about being counted for the representation, but their heads count, so I guess it does matter.
Right.
So all of them are good. I think maybe,
In terms of the school population, like, don't have too much paper. It'll just be annoying.
yeah. Should we have something too? I know it's crazy, but at Stroll or at the Thanksgiving turkey thing.
December Delight, you mean?
Yeah, December Delight and or Stroll and or like where would those places be good to get the word out?
I think personally, December Delight, as someone who's, I mean, we all have been there as a volunteer and a customer. I don't think that would be a suitable place just because it's utter chaos and people are really only there for one thing,
To shop.
to shop. And I don't think that would be a
Stroll, we
receptive
get a lot of
audience.
off islanders.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. And Stroll is more of like a visitor.
Yeah,
That's
like the town.
tourist.
I think it's in the winter that we're going to find the events that, you know, those various fundraisers that happen on odd weekends when people are looking for something to do.
Like the small friends.
Right,
the chicken
that's
box.
happening ladies' night tonight, but that's not really, but you have to think about events that are coming up and maybe examine each one and say, would this be attracting people that need to
Right.
hear these messages?
New Year's Eve, there's going to be a lot of things downtown, all across, like the Athenaeum, the Dreamland. So we could try to get something
Yeah.
for some hands there.
Especially since it's 2020.
So just to remember.
And then,
I think 12 and, sorry, I'm
Yeah.
pulling back on this. I think 12 and 15 are the two most complete ones, because the others just kind of have bits and pieces of it. But like you were saying with the children's health program at the school, that could be 12. And then 15 that has the fair market rents, public transportation, the public stuff. If you look at what the other ones, like, they kind of all touch, it's just a different way, but those 12 and 15 seem like the most comprehensive too to me.
I wish they had said that Title I grants is money for your schools.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't
anybody
think
knows
anyone
what they
knows
are.
what that is.
Maybe we can like handwrite school
Yeah, school
and
funding.
then make a bunch of copies.
It does. It pays for
I mean,
summer
'cause-
school. That's how
well,
we
maybe
pay for our
it's an
summer
editable
school.
PDF. I don't know. I could take a look.
People,
I was gonna
yeah,
take a look.
most people won't know that that's what that
Or
is.
before you even copy it, even if you just put
Yeah, handwrite.
or a sticker. Or something.
Yeah, one of those
Yeah.
stamps.
Yeah, right.
So to recapitulate, because I'm sort of trying to participate and take notes at the same time. So pages 16, 17 should go to the community school right away. Pages 12 and 15, Rachel, you thought were comprehensive and would be good for.
Like one, like around the school, one in the public. I mean, both really could probably go, but
Like if it was front back.
yeah,
Right. Okay.
because one addresses, you know, children's health and program, like all the health programs, and the other
17
one
does
sort
as
of
well.
addresses.
I'm trying to think what the difference is
Did we
here.
hire?
Right. Well, that's why I was just looking through all of them. Like the census data affects your community. That like 16 and 17, they say the exact same thing, but what the other bullets are a little different.
They're a little. This one, the one 16, is just a little more thorough.
So it's like, unfortunately, will determine your political representation for the next 10 years. Sorry. I
Right.
don't think people are going to look at that as a primary motive. But where to
Not
build
in our
hospitals,
state. In some
shelters,
states,
clinic,
it's
and other
huge.
services, maybe. I mean, I'm making assumptions on what motivates people, but
And can we give some of these to Fairwinds, put the flyer up at where we see flyers all the time, like the green,
Yeah, the
put
bean.
one up.
Yeah.
Should we just hang
you
on?
know,
I actually have
just to kind of get the word up.
the hub.
Can you get email Eleanor when you're doing this? I'm just wondering whether Peter is having a hard time calling in.
I've not heard Peter. I heard from Angela Covington. Maybe we need to start the process over. I don't know why.
Let's just try it again.
There's somebody.
No, I
she's
just went
not.
out.
So let's try it again, just to see. I would hate to
Okay.
think that he's
I haven't
hanging
got an
there.
email from Peter. I did hear from Angela Covington.
1-888-767-9895.
Small correction, parent conferences is the 11th this year. It's a week later.
Welcome to Broad Data Conferencing at broaddata.com. Enter your conference code, followed by the pound or hash sign.
4100496 pound.
Thank you. If you are the leader, press star now.
Let's do that.
So hit star. Then
Please enter your
2237.
leader PIN, followed
What
by
was
the
it?
pound or hash
2237
sign.
pound.
To start or join your conference, press 1. To change default conference, you will now be placed into conference. To mute your line, press star 6. To unmute, press pound 6. After joining the call, to record the conference for those who may miss this call, or for future playback, press star 2.
Fancy. Hello. That usually means somebody's coming on that. Ooh.
That's us.
Hello.
If he came on it, I'm not sure he would sit there for 20 minutes without anybody on the line. But at least it's not yakking at us with the music, right?
Right. Okay, so 11th, you said not the 4th.
Yes.
Anybody want to sign up? I
I
know
think I'm away that day.
I could do the 11th. I know I cannot do the 13th.
I can do it.
Can
Of
you do the
December?
13th?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing paragraphs. My kid's in middle school.
I can't do the 11th.
I can't either.
Hi, this is Peter Morrison.
Hey, Peter.
Hi.
We had a little technical
Hear me?
issue. Have you been hanging on there for 20 minutes?
I have.
Oh.
I dialed in again, but I'm glad I'm connected. That's okay.
Perfect. Yeah, sorry, we had a little confusion about which buttons to push.
Are those at?
Okay.
The 11th is what you said, noon.
Noon to
It
6.
starts around noon
Yep.
to 6, so that's long. They go to about 7 because people come in late and drop in when they get out of work. But I mean, that's a long time for one person to be sitting there just to pass out flyers.
Yeah.
But I think we can ask the schools for a table at least, and for someone to be there for part of the time.
Sure. Yeah, I can get some.
And I'll find out
volunteers.
about me doing double duty. I don't know if they'll think that's weird that I'm doing both. So I'll just see if it'd be okay for me to do
Okay.
census instead of school.
Right. No, I think somebody that they know would be huge. I mean, I think that's, if we could find a volunteer that is known to the school population and the parents,
They're
Much more-
all of our interpreters are busy interpreting at every meeting.
I'm sure.
But I think for this it'll be multiple getting out there for people. Like someone today, PhD was like, census? What census? Nantucket has this. I'm like, the federal census is 2020. So I think people don't
Still don't know. That's
Wow.
just amazing. I know. It's funny. Well, let's make sure that they do.
Okay.
So-
Moving
So
on.
just to recapitulate, well, I'll get a bunch of flyers printed up and get them distributed to various places. Fair Winds, community school. I'll work with the schools to figure out if we need a table, if we can get a table for the parent-teacher conferences, and then LPAC.
For LPAC, email me and Jocelyn Ramirez.
Okay. Jocelyn, she's learning really.
And Eleanor, will you
SELINE.
send me an invite so it's on my calendar, please?
For LPAC?
Yeah, the one on the 11th.
That's parent conferences. LPAC is.
Got you.
I'm sorry. I
That's
forgot
the
your
14th.
name.
Tom.
Tom is LPAC.
13th,
LPAC.
14th? What day?
LPAC's the 13th because it's Friday.
What's the time?
Right.
What are the time?
That's at 6 o'clock, and we have it. And right now, we're still trying to get approved for NIS or NES.
Okay.
We have the food in the cafeteria, and then the movie in the gym. So in the cafeteria is where we would set up, or if it's NIS, it would be in their lobby. where
What
we
day of the
have
week is
people.
that?
It's a Friday. They like to meet on Fridays.
It's not. It's a mean thing for the people who've been working all week, right?
Yes. Well, they've all been working, but it's the night they
It's
feel
different.
like they can.
Yep. Relax. Yep.
They bring their kids and all that.
That's great.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to item B, which is social media campaigns, other types of outreach, planned events at strategic community venues, enlistment of ambassadors. Any further discussion on these items?
Have we hired a coordinator?
That's the next
That's-
item.
sorry.
You're
That's
rushing this,
item C.
What? That was that person's job,
Yeah, that's true.
I wasn't sure if they
That's
were
true.
posting to social media.
right?
We could certainly continue this and move on to item C, which going once we will do.
I
Okay.
think that's a
was
good
some
move.
promotion in the town newsletter
Yep.
and on the town website
And
or
Morrison.
Instagram or something
Oh, yeah.
like that. So
Thank you,
That
yeah.
For the
was
census or for the
provided.
position?
both.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
I sent a bunch of stuff to Corinthia.
I saw that. It was great.
And she did a big push. She put stuff on our webpage. She did stuff on the, any place she can put things, and including the town newsletter. She did. I wrote a little piece for her to put in there, and
Great.
she's fantastic. The
The
minute.
town newsletter is excellent.
It
And
is.
I
It
feel
is
like
good.
every Islander should get it. It's really good.
Yep. I agree.
It is.
So we've posted this position now, right, Eleanor?
Correct.
HR recommended we posted it, so it's posted. What's our deadline?
So it'll be in the paper next week, and because it couldn't be in the paper until next week, that we made the deadline Friday the 22nd for no later than Friday the 22nd to receive resumes. There's not a full-on application because it's not a town job.
Right.
So people submitting resumes will submit them to Andrew. He will interview them, and decisions will be made. And hopefully, a decision before the end. I was suggesting in an email yesterday that perhaps the week of Thanksgiving, you might want to hire the person. He or she could start December and maybe even go to some of these events.
Sure, yep, okay.
That would be ideal.
So that's good. That means it was approved then by me. Excellent.
I think that would be good if I'm doing
Right.
like
So
a
we
third-
don't actually have that official. Just so you know, we have not heard back that the money is in hand.
Okay.
The application has gone through their processes. They have led us to believe that they believe that Wendy will approve this, but it has not come back. Yes, here's your money.
Okay.
So-
Good to know.
Oh, okay.
Yep. No, we hadn't got.
Yeah, but that's okay, we can get, the hiring is contingent upon that. so,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay.
but that timing should work for everybody, I think, so, yeah.
And I can post the job description on the chamber site.
Okay, do you want me to send it to you?
And going back to this, we can be census takers. Is this in multiple languages?
They're all, yes, I think that I can find that. in multiple.
So I think we should hang these around town too.
Yeah, I mean, I
Let
can
people
send you the
that-
link. It's right on the US.
The
You
board.
could even do it and print it yourself. I don't mind doing it, but
I think
if you all
people
want
are out of a
to-
job within the next couple of weeks, so these around on different boards might be helpful too.
I know it's in the town buildings. Nancy has it.
Okay, good.
But, like Cumberland Farms. I mean, it should be places where people go
Mm-hmm.
to have
Yeah, I
coffee
know.
on their way
I've
back.
got a
from-
list from all the nonprofits I've worked for.
Yeah.
So there's a
This
good
one might be a little different too,
20
though.
sites.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay. Any further discussion on the administrator position? There is a person that's that you have, right, Margaret? That
I do.
okay.
Yep, who is very interested and way overqualified and would be one. The only drawback is that she's not here full time.
Okay.
So much of this, I think, can be done from afar, but it indicated that she has a lot of flexibility to be here when needed.
Okay. Good.
So, and then we've actually gotten 2 resumes.
Good.
One came in a couple weeks ago from
Yes.
somebody who is here locally.
Do you mind sending me or you sent it to Andrew, but I didn't get it.
Want me to send it to you?
Please, just to have in file.
I will, right now. Otherwise I'll forget.
Okay, moving on. Item D, field operation for 2020 census, promoting census taker position within community, and then the local update of the census address operation lookup. So, just so everybody knows, on the second bullet, new construction, so we have made the deadline to provide the census with all new construction. So that is going to be units that we think will be subject to occupancy on census day. So it's units pretty much under construction. A lot of it is, you know, there's new units in Richmond coming, there's a bunch of units all over the place. So we have made that deadline, and earlier we made the deadline on the address challenge.
Right.
We had about 50 that they said were not real addresses, which we gave them the backup that showed that they were.
Great.
So have not heard back on that yet, but again, that's all going as it should at this point. So
When will we hear back from them so we would know?
I'm not sure. I did just get an email today which sort of outlined some of that, but I didn't get it to you all yet, but I'll forward that along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, item D?
What was that promoting census taker position within community and who is eligible? Is that the one we were just talking about from
Yes.
item C? Oh, same one, okay.
Yeah.
No, Steve's
No,
the
no, no.
administrator.
Well,
Yes,
this
it's
is the
different.
takers,
The enumerators?
the enumerators, yeah.
Is that what this flyer is
That's
for
what
for
the
the
flyer
census?
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
then-
the trainer position, yeah, what was
No,
that?
they're
Ellen?
train the trainer,
Okay,
trainer or
so
something.
so I just want to jump back to that item number 1 on the agenda under D. Is it promoting census taker position within community and who's eligible? I've given Thomas something that Margaretta forwarded to me about how nonprofits can advocate for immigrants or even non-immigrants who are concerned they might lose their welfare benefits if they take a census taker job.
Right.
And
Because the income would push them up beyond the threshold.
Oh,
Right.
income waivers.
Right.
so because it's a temporary job, there should be a waiver. So Thomas has agreed to do some of the footwork to get the attention of the governor, because it's basically up to him
Mhm.
to implement any kind of a waiver on this.
Well, that would be good because a lot of our people collect unemployment because they're not
Exactly.
X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But if they could,
I mean, this
do
this
this
should not.
and-
It's like a civil service that they're
Mhm.
doing, right? So I mean, it really should not affect their long term benefits. I don't think so.
Right.
I'm
Wonder what
sure
the
we are
pay
not
is.
alone in advocating for that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
yeah, it's
Um,
hard to count community members. Yeah.
So that's just something I just want to bring your attention to. And then,
Do we know how much it pays?
well,
25.
Laura had said 19,
19 an hour? I thought it was more than that.
Well, it hadn't. I don't think she said it was necessarily more for Nantucket. I
Yeah.
don't-
Interesting.
I don't know how final that was.
Right.
I just remember her saying that and thinking that's not
Yeah,
go very
it's not
far.
competitive.
But it's better than nothing if you're not working.
Yeah.
And for again a high school
More than
kid
minimum
or
wage.
Right,
it was eight. Is there an age? It's 18
18. Yeah.
and citizenship.
Not a requirement. You have to be legally. You have to be here on a legal.
Oh,
You have to have
TPS
work
can
card
do
first.
it.
Okay.
So, and then Andrew, you had asked about this thing. So I had been working with Yuri to book the room and so forth and get this is the date they landed on. So it's a week from today, and it's going to be training people to help with outreach. So for those of you who have time to go to this, it is 2 hours, but.
I'm at a state meeting
Yeah.
for the Department of Ed on that day.
So I'm trying to push out, this just came to me this morning, so I sent it to Florencia and trying to get, and I've forwarded it to you guys to put on, Facebook, or, I don't have Facebook, so,
Did you send this to the paper?
No, I'll do that.
Yeah, see
Yeah,
if they
that'd be
can get
great.
that on their web, their feed. Whatever.
Okay.
Right. So it's a week from today?
All right. Other business? Anybody?
This is Peter Morrison. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Peter.
Hi. I just wanted to raise one question. It's kind of early on, but I think we ought to be at least thinking about it. I assembled this list, sort of in January and February to really, crank up the message when people get together for religious purposes on Saturdays and Sundays in the different places, and also, to establish this trusted link, because this is where we're going to make the real big sweep of people who are kind of, standing clear of anything that says U.S. government on it. And we have an opportunity to pick up not just a few people here and there, but, dozens and dozens of people who would otherwise not be willing to, have any contact with this. And the whole idea is to just get them when they're in one place and say, we've got, your children here from the high school with telephones, and they can help you get counted right here when the service is over, that type of thing. Has anybody given any thought to how to execute that?
Well, I think the hired person would. This is Eleanor, Peter, if I may.
Yeah.
I think the person we're looking to hire
Right.
would be certainly in charge of doing outreach to those trusted ambassadors, beginning with your list, and maybe that would
Should be the first
lead
step.
to other connections. But he or she could set up meetings
With
with.
like the Interfaith Council.
Yeah, definitely with the Interfaith Council is a place to start. I mean, you have the rental
Okay.
assistance.
Yeah.
The rental assistance.
I'll try to,
program.
I'll consider me the sort of point of contact on the idea, so I can kind of, fill them in on what the logic is. And then I'm just, I'm not really clear in my own mind how to execute it. I'm wondering if those of you who are, perhaps, is Kelly in the room?
I'm here.
Kelly Cooney?
Yep. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any ideas how to make this work? The whole idea is to kind of frame it, in my mind, the whole idea is to kind of frame it as, this is not the Census Bureau so much as this is our public school that really wants this to work and stands to benefit. And in order to make it work, you need to deal with this thing called the 2020 census. And my sense is that you've got the real live electric contact with the people at the schools that we want to get to.
Yep. We're
So
going
I'm open to any ideas you have as to how to execute this. I'm a little ahead of the schedule, but I think we should be thinking about it.
We're going to start giving them information about what the census is and when it's happening, starting in December. Parent conferences, English Learner Parent Advisory. I think at the Interfaith Council, that's where they'll have the contacts with the Latino priests. So I think they can handle it on their end. And are you talking about getting the word out or actually counting them?
Or having them help us.
No, I'm talking about just kind of the logic of it. It sounds like you've got it. It sounds like you've got it sort of half operationalized. I just wanted you to know this is my focal point of interest, and I stand ready to help any way I can. Although I'm just kind of flying blind here. But the key idea is to make the target population perceive this as an effort on behalf of the schools, so that they are not deterred by just saying, I just rather not have anything to do with the
saying
census.
it's the schools. I feel most comfortable giving them the actual information. I think as we watch the impeachment process, maybe people will feel safer come February. But right now, I don't feel comfortable that our president wouldn't break into whatever it is, Title 13, any second of the day and break the box. So I'm at a place where I will give all of the information, tell them that I think that it's secure, but I by no means am going to say that we, the school, want you to do this, because, and my bilingual friends feel the same way. Like I don't trust. I mean, if you're gonna collude with Russia, why wouldn't you break into the census box? So sorry.
Yeah, I get you.
But I'm not going there.
No, that's okay. I
We
just
all
want
live
you to
in
do what you
fear
can,
for
you know.
all
it's-
of that. So I think we give the information and we wait and see what happens by April, how safe any of us feel with this.
Right.
I mean, one thing maybe we
Okay,
could
that
do-
sounds like a plan.
maybe the selectmen could invite some people in and, when you have, we should have at some point a discussion item, which would be good to be televised and, maybe you invite some people and take a picture up front or, do something where you're treating people with respect and inviting them in and including them, as sort of the overall, like this is important to our community. We've extended ourselves to invite you all here to, as partners. I don't know.
I think a meeting like that could work in like December when people definitely aren't working as much and when this person is identified
Yeah,
and it's their job. I think then we could have a separate meeting and invite people from the community to learn more about it.
yeah,
Because if you go to the barber shop, with I can't remember his name right now, Wilbur.
well,
Like
yeah,
he talks to every male Latino on the island.
right,
So I just don't feel they want to limit the rights of foster parents to take children in if they're gay. Since the last time we met, they're still taking rights away from people. So I think Deb Du Bois and Jocelyn and Eileen were all still kind of like, it's all great. And yes, we want them counted, but
Right.
no one's willing to put their neck on the line, especially if we have papers and they don't, because we really can't trust it because it keeps happening.
no, you're right, I mean, yeah, and if someone said, you said it was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the risk, exactly.
Yeah.
right,
We're still trying to separately get policies written for what kind of policies we have with the school committee for what kind of warrants matter. So apparently if school committees have a policy saying that we will not accept warrants from ICE or then the federal government stands by schools because of Plyer versus Doe. So that's something we're just looking into now to even get that policy on the books. So
yeah.
yeah. Yep.
We're not a sanctuary community, are we?
Scary, no.
No.
Not officially, no.
No. So
So Andrew, you're saying in terms of selectmen, what do you envision there?
Well, I at some point, I've talked to Libby about doing sort of an announcement beginning probably in December, that would be in the regular agenda. At some point where they would, like a little reminder or countdown to census or whatever. But maybe once we get the list from Peter, maybe we can distill that and then just have an invitation. And then the selectmen could address people and say, we've reached out to local leaders and some of them are here with us tonight and we want to thank them and, ask for their help to make sure that our population is counted and whatever.
Could we
It
do
could be a
one of
symbolic
those
type of thing.
proclamations that we're always reading?
Yeah.
Something about this.
What'd you say? Sorry.
We're always reading proclamations. Could one of them be like a census week?
Is 2020 the year of the elder?
It is.
I knew it was happening last night. I wasn't able to be there.
temporary protected status was just extended last week for our El Salvadoran populations. So of the families who are here with that, they're safe.
Yeah.
So I think that's important too for us to communicate. At the very least, we can ask our people with temporary protected status to come forward because we know they're in the system.
We know they're in the system, exactly. and
Yeah,
safe.
so they're
And I
in
think,
anyway.
Again, Peter's started with a list of who we all kind of brainstormed around as to the leaders in different cultural areas. The admin person needs to do a little work before we can invite anybody
Sure.
in front of the
Yes.
select board. I just think it has to be, they have to understand what that means. And
Yeah, that's off, and that's probably a February,
Right.
maybe March.
Yep.
I think,
Yep.
anyway, but-
She might be able to informally go.
I
and
think
meet with
Andrew's
people.
captured it. What we want to do is create some kind of a group identity among the ambassadors and faith leaders
Exactly.
by, I think
And that takes a
having
little
the
time.
select board tell them that they are really, critical to doing what they're doing and that they are a team and they're functioning in order to overcome, really a lot of distrust in the community and that there are limits to what we can do. But we just want them to know that we appreciate what they're doing and that it's a critical part of the mission. And it really is a critical part. And I think that they will function effectively if they understand the logic of this, which is to try to instill trust as best as they can. And it's, it's not going to be a perfect world. It's just going to be try to, dispel the total distrust that is going to turn so many people away, and they're just going to say, I don't want to be involved. We just need to overcome that. And that's going to be, sort of February spilling over into March and April when people haven't answered. And we got a lot of, tail in the calendar to get people to sort of gradually overcome that fear and say, I'm comfortable getting on the phone with someone I trust who's going to help me answer the form. That's going to get us dozens, if not hundreds, of more responses.
Yeah. So, Eleanor, just looking at the census frequently asked questions that's in the packet, and it says, what are the application requirements? And it says, at least 18-year-old, a U.S. citizen.
But then Laura had said at
Have
the
they
meeting,
changed it?
and I think she pointed out to me that hadn't, or somebody, maybe it was Yuri, that hadn't been corrected.
Okay.
So, remember she said they were gonna be precluding too many people if they did
Right.
that, who might wanna take these jobs.
Exactly. Okay, good.
So it was
That's great.
legal citizenship or legal immigration status.
Okay. Maybe they can update that before we
And
make sure we
regis-
don't just get out.
And
Yeah.
registered for selective service.
Yeah,
Good
but
man,
as soon as you're 18 and getting a federal loan, just did that for my son today. Boom. Didn't even tell him. FAFSA.
All right.
Males only.
Anything
I know,
else?
it's interesting. Yeah, I saw that. Mail something.
Any other items or motion for adjournment is in order?
So moved.
Second.
Wait, you gotta schedule your next meeting.
What's males only?
Start putting that on the
What's
agenda then.
So, I'm gonna say prescription, that's not it. So register for,
Okay.
service.
Do you wanna
in
make
the
it
US in the
after-
Army, the armed forces.
Or before
When you're
the
18, you have to
pack
register, even if there's not an active
and
draft,
pack and stuff.
but only men.
I'm away
Since
between the
when?
15th
I don't
and the
know.
21st.
Of
Maybe Tom
December.
knows. Since when? Why is
So
the
we
registration
have the
only
week of
men?
the second or
And
the-
why do they have
Somebody
to
just
register?
emailed me
When
this.
did that
The
happen?
9th
Today?
will have to be.
I don't know.
Wait, is this today?
No, this is actually it's information that's right here.
All 18-year-old men have to register for the military?
Born after December 31st, 1959, must
That
also
always been
be
a thing?
must also be registered with selective service system or have a qualifying exemption.
I never knew that.
I
Oh, so
didn't
they're
know.
ready for the draft in case it happens.
Exactly.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
But it is interesting.
Born
it's only
after
men.
1959, so that's old people like me.
Yeah, I already have to do that.
Marguerite, are you still there? You can hear me?
I am here.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say, I think you squeezed into that 300-word proposal about the best application I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
I hope it went in okay.
It did, and I never got a confirmation, so I reached back out to the woman who I had been corresponding with about it, and she said it's in, it's there. So I did not find out what the deadline is for us to actually hear whether we were successful, but you all, that's part
Yeah.
of, should be part of the minutes, that we did in fact
Well,
put in
let's
an
do
application
Tuesday
for the
then.
Mass
Good.
Equity Fund.
Tuesday
Yeah, I
the
thought
10th.
it was a really good job given the space limitation.
There was a lot.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Just for the next meeting.
Okay, I'll sign off.
All right, Peter, thank
Tuesday
you.
the
Bye-bye.
10th.
Tuesday the 10th for next meeting.
Yep.
Tuesday,
Okay.
December 10th.
I can do that.
What time?
Same time.
2:45?
2:45.
So is this list all state count people? Page
Yeah.
38?
This is perfect timing.
Yeah, I'd like 2:45, it's great.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's good to know, because Matt Saul's on it, and that's our Massachusetts teachers
missed a call from
of
you
students
the
of
other
other
Did you get my
languages.
voicemail?
So I'll reach out to
No?
her, because I didn't know
Okay.
that they were involved. And
That was
she's
quite
in
long.
my world,
So
Oh.
2:45,
that
December 10th.
organization.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can just tell you after this.
And also, Eleanor, can we just throw in the minutes there somewhere, wherever, that we did in fact submit the application for the Mass Census Equity Fund and have not heard back. I don't know when we will hear, but it was.
It was due on the 25th, right?
And it was submitted on the 24th. And it was received, that confirmation that it was received.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. Even though we've already adjourned. Sorry.
Did we officially
Well, we-
adjourn?
Well,
We
not
did,
officially.
oh, not officially, oh, okay.
Amend the adjournment.
Now we are adjourned.
Now we're adjourned? Okay.
Yes, thank you all.
Oh,
Next
thank
meeting
you. We didn't have to say aye.
So where was the
Yeah.
on button here?